Hello and welcome to episode number 9 of the Let's Be Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Stephen J., and today I am joined by Gordon and Lizett. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
Not bad at all.
I'm doing good too. Excited for today's topic.
And you brought along with us a guest, didn't you, Lizett?
I did. I brought my husband with me today.
Excellent. Drew, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great.
See, you've been mentioned in quite a few episodes, but you have yet to appear, so this is pretty exciting. So we're going to be talking about Marvel today, and we're going to be doing an all-encompassing, whether it's TV shows, movies, comic books. We're just going to kind of go over everything, tell our thoughts and what to expect in the films going forward, video games, different things like that. I think we will have plenty to talk about. So let's get it started. Who has Disney Plus and who has been binge watching the TV shows?
Me.
Steve, you know I have Disney Plus because you're using my login and all of that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But
We don't
yet to watch Loki.
We do not abuse the system and hijack accounts, Gordon.
I don't know what you're talking about. You definitely can't go to the piratebay.org and watch anything you want for free.
I never heard of it.
That's a shame.
No, clear sarcasm. But no, to be honest, I only watched WandaVision, and I am not caught up on Loki.
That's a shame because you're also missing Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the middle of that.
Yes, that is true.
And that one was I was very happy with how that turned out as well.
I haven't watched anything since Endgame.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, Endgame kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I haven't really been into superhero since. Like, it ruined a lot for me.
You didn't like Endgame?
I did not.
You have to elaborate.
So, I don't even know what my biggest problem with it is. So, like, the movie before that, I forget what it was called exactly, but I actually really liked what they did with that. And then to, like, save everyone, introducing time travel, I was kind of expecting it. I didn't really like it. I felt like the movie never really went anywhere. I felt like we were just watching the same scene for 3 hours, and then the ending happened. I didn't feel like it went anywhere. I didn't feel like anything really happened, And it was really easy to guess what was going to happen. And then the ending the whole point of watching it, in my opinion, because I thought the ending was going to be like this huge, cool thing. It really only focused on like 3 or 4 characters, and like they did everything again. And it was like, I feel like all the other characters that have been introduced just kind of were thrown to the side, and we had the main people that have been in it from the beginning, and they did everything. And I didn't like how it ended. I didn't like how it was paced. I didn't enjoy it at all. It left such a bad taste in my mouth, especially since the last one was actually like one of my favorite Marvel movies.
And you're talking about how Infinity Wars was so good.
Yeah, I really liked Infinity War.
Huh. Well,
especially the ending of Endgame. Because my favorite is what's his name? Doctor Strange. And they did him dirty. They did him so dirty in that fight, and I can't forgive them.
Yeah, that's true.
I was so mad. I was like, when is he going to do stuff? He brought everyone together, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go hold this water. You guys have fun. I'm just going to have weird expressions on my face every, 15 minutes for the camera.
Hold my finger up in the last 5 minutes of the film.
God, I was so angry.
I get it. And
I can understand where you're coming from, but I think they're trying to focus too much on prepping for stage 4.
I know and then when they announced all the shows, I was like, oh, so the last movie was just to set up all of these shows. Well, now I'm not gonna watch your shows because I feel like you kind of shot the last movie in the foot just so you could make a couple more TV shows.
I definitely think if you don't watch any of the other ones, you should definitely watch Loki because
That's what I've been told. I've been told that one's really good.
He was
it's
gonna watch it with me,
awesome.
but then I didn't wait for him. I just watched it by myself. So,
I do not blame you in the slightest.
but Loki's my favorite, so I had to watch it.
I mean, I'm not upset about it because I've been on the fence on whether or not I want to dip my feet back into the MCU or not. I am going to watch the new Spider-Man movie because that has me excited because it's bringing back other actors that I really like. But outside of that, nothing with Marvel has impressed me.
Damn.
Oh, that's a loaded statement right there.
I know what I said.
I said what I said.
I stand by my statement.
I'm assuming we've all seen the Spider-Man trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched it when it leaked on Reddit, and it was like a video of a video on someone's phone. Yeah.
A video of a video on someone's phone of a computer of a big screen. Yeah.
Yeah, like
all
it was
that fun.
recorded on a toaster. It was great.
So if it wasn't for Doc Ock and Green Goblin, I probably wouldn't even be interested in the movie.
And what about the rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are coming back?
Now, I am
Sad.
excited for that, but every time I bring up someone like, it's not confirmed, and I'm like, well,
because it's not.
hey, not just you.
Yeah, but if you listen to the trailer again, you can hear Doc Ock say hi to Spidey or Peter.
Yeah,
And he only knows one Peter. He doesn't know.
Okay, so we've already had this discussion.
she
so
shot my foot with this one too. She likes to shoot it all down. Be like, no, don't be excited.
I know exactly what she's gonna say because of what Doctor Strange did. They probably all know who this Peter Parker is.
Well, actually,
Something wrong
that
those lines.
or this could be a Doc Ock from another a different universe because the Doc Ock in the Tobey Maguire movies drown in the river at the end of Spider-Man 2, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, there's a couple different things that could be going on. Now, am I hoping that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, especially Tobey Maguire, are coming back? Yes. I really, really want that. I've wanted that since they announced some stuff about this movie. My sister has been sending me memes almost daily because she's so freaking excited about it too.
When does that come out? I don't remember the
Hold on,
release date.
I've got my list up right in front of me for this purpose. Hold on. December 17th.
Yes.
I think we all need to take that week off, meet up, and go watch the movie together.
I mean, I'm down.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'll drive to you guys. I don't care.
I'm the kind of person, though, that if I go watch a movie and I don't like it, I will let you know. And sometimes my wife doesn't enjoy that as much.
Okay, look.
As long as you let us know after we watch it and not halfway through.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say anything during the movie.
Yeah, no, he's good. He doesn't destroy your
Your hopes and
your
dreams
hopes
in
and
the middle
dreams
of
until
watching it.
after it's done. So
I just don't like listening to people talk during movies.
Oh, yeah, I hate that, too.
Yeah.
I hate when people start fucking clapping in the movie theater.
Oh, that's the most white people shit ever.
It's just a movie. They can't fucking hear you. Stop clapping.
It's like when they clap with the plane lands. Like, yeah, the
Oh my
pilot's really
gosh.
happy. Thank you. As
All
long
right,
as I get emo swoop Tobey Maguire, I'll be happy.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, yes.
I wanna see
love
him
that
dance again.
concept art.
Yes.
All right. Well, since I have this list up, let's go over what the release dates are and what should be coming out in Marvel Phase 4 going forward.
Okay.
So, as of recording this, I'm not going to say this properly, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings,
Oh, I'm so excited for that. That looks
comes
really
out-
good.
that comes out tomorrow as of the time that we're recording this, not when it's released. It does look really, really good. So, that's tomorrow. Eternals comes out on my birthday, November 5th.
Oh,
And then the Hawkeye series is slated to
Is the Hawkeye series coming out?
yeah. the end of November. So the date I have for that is November 24th. Now, a lot of the release dates for the TV shows got shuffled around because I think Loki was supposed to come out later than it did, and then it was supposed to come out earlier than it did, and it was just like, you know what, we're just going to drop it in June and it'll be fine. So yeah, Hawkeye at the end of November. Ms. Marvel, it says late 2021. There's not a specific date, so I don't know.
Ooh.
Spider-Man 3, December 17th.
Yes.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, March 25th, 2022. I am very excited for that one.
Me too.
I was excited for that. Wasn't that supposed to come out this year until COVID happened and postponed
Yeah, everything got shifted back because of COVID, so
Goddamn COVID.
I know. All right, Thor: Love and Thunder is May 6th, 2022. That's another one that I'm actually really excited for because I loved the last Thor movie.
Is Natalie Portman taking over? Oh, excuse me.
She is coming back, so I don't know what's going on with that, but she'll be back.
Ooh.
And I believe, I don't know, I think it's been confirmed that she is going to wield Mjolnir.
Mhm.
So I don't know what they're doing exactly, but it's going to be interesting. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, July 8th, 2022. That's
Rest
another
in
one.
peace.
Yep, that's
Chadwick.
another one that I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with it. I loved Chadwick Boseman in that role.
I
So,
think
oh,
they
go on.
have. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure I heard rumors that they have a lot of footage that they're going to be able to use to keep him in there with CGI and not have to get a new actor.
That would be really cool. I know a lot of fans and a lot of people were talking and saying that if they couldn't do something like that, to not recast the role.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that if they don't have the CGI thing is interesting. It can look kind of wonky sometimes, so I don't know how I feel about that. But
With the Carrie Fisher
yeah,
incident.
yep. No.
We're not even going to mention that anymore.
No, we're just gonna keep going. The Marvels is November 11th, 2022. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. So there's a lot to be excited for over the next couple of years.
There's only 3 I'm probably gonna watch.
And there's 2 things I'd love to talk about, and is the first one is we brought it up in a past episode. I think this is before you two were here, but Steve has hypothesized that they're going to introduce the XMen through the next Black Panther movie.
Oh yeah, I think I listened to that episode that you guys did with the whole storm and everything. Was that your theory, Steven?
Yes, but I have done my research and development, and I think it's actually going to happen earlier than I originally thought. So
Okay.
Upsetting, but
I was reading about the Eternals, and I was very unfamiliar with that storyline and that comic book. You know, as a former comic book collector, I was like, oh, how do I not know about this? So I went in and I was doing some research, and I really didn't recognize any of the characters or what have you. But I think what they're doing is the Eternals are going to, because it's essentially going to be a prequel, and it seems like they're setting up the Eternals to establish mutants in the timeline. So whether that means that the X-Men will make an appearance at some point or at the end or what have you, I believe that mutants as a whole will be recognized and officially part of the universe because of that movie. And then at that point, there is, because let me look at the timeline here, make sure I'm correct on my thinking. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, now, and there's talk there might be mutant presence in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, being the tie-in with Scarlet Witch, and the fact that she was such a prominent enemy of the X-Men when she was introduced originally. And her going, kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs at the end of WandaVision.
Yeah.
There's talk that there might be elements of mutants in that storyline as well. But yes, the main rumor still is the badass mutant herself, Storm, will be making her appearance in Black Panther, because as you know, in the comic books, Black Panther and her were married for a period of time. So yeah, it's my
Okay.
theory. I'm sticking to it.
I don't know how I feel about this.
About what?
The X-Men, how they're gonna do the X-Men, because I really liked Logan, and I think an R rating really fits the X-Men very well, and I was kind of hoping they would stick with that. You know, they have Deadpool rated R, they had the last Wolverine movie was rated R, and I feel like the R rating fits it much better. And I don't know if I want X-Men to go back to PG-13 just to be with Marvel.
I'm pretty sure that now this was something I saw on Reddit, so it's probably 100% fake. Like half the things that are on Reddit are. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be in the near to distant future more movies with a rated R function when it comes to Marvel with the
Okay.
newer stage, just because of what has already transpired with past movies that Marvel might not have owned, like X-Men, since they acquired Fox just a couple of years ago. But we went over that
See,
like the second episode.
I don't see that happening. I'll be honest. I think that they're going to lose so much of their demo if they go R. I think that we'll still get like an R-rated Deadpool, but I
Oh
don't
yeah,
see
they already
them.
confirmed that. They said Deadpool's not changing.
Yeah, I don't
Better
see,
not.
because like if you think about all the licensing, like the clothing, the toys, the whatever, and then all of a sudden all these kids that have grown up on these movies can't go see it because it's rated R.
Yeah,
I don't see them doing it.
I don't see it happening either, unless they make side movies with specific characters or shows with specific characters and then make those rated R. But then that's still kind of just, I don't know. I like continuity. Like if one thing's R, I
Or
want all of it to be R. If it's PG-13, I want all of it to be PG-13.
I agree.
or you know, the thing that will never happen in a million years, Disney's gonna swallow its pride a little bit and stop charging us $30 to watch a movie on a paid streaming service.
Listen, it is
I doubt that.
it is a pandemic, and they have to make their extra multi-million dollars any way they can. Gordon,
Oh my gosh.
we're not going to get into
And
that.
then lose the
No.
lawsuit.
I'm seeing. Is anyone picking up anything on Fantastic Four? Because I'm seeing a date for it, and I didn't know that.
Oh, I just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I do that too. Fantastic Four's been ruined for me way too many times for me to.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, another disappointment's coming out. Okay.
Listen, call me a masochist. I will show up to that theater every
Oh,
time and watch
so
their
will
big
I,
bag
but
of
I'm gonna be
bullshit.
disappointed.
I haven't watched anything Fantastic Four related since the very first Fantastic Four movie.
I saw the first two, like the Chris Evans Fantastic Four movies before, you know, he got saved and put in the Captain America role.
Hey, just like Green Lantern would in Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly. Yeah. So I did not watch. I think I tried to watch the newer one, and I didn't get very far in it because I just didn't like the cast.
The cast was terrible.
Yeah.
I think they
Not
should just leave
understandable.
Fantastic Four alone at this point.
It needs to be set off to the side until people can forget about what they've done, and then they can think about revisiting it. But they need to just let it rest for a little while.
And
That's not gonna happen.
and one thing that I think that is like a downfall here is not every character needs, you know, their standalone moment or their exclusive title. If Because, like, for example, like the Secret War storyline, if memory serves, like Reed Richards and Sue Storm were like very big a part of that storyline. So I'm gonna go as far as to say, um, have them be characters in a movie and just be like, oh yeah, Reed Richards is an amazing scientist. He's a friend of mine. Like you could have like Ant-Man say that and be like, let's contact him. He'll help us, and just like have them thrown in. Because I think you're right. I think that the standalone Fantastic Four movies are cursed. So
There's something with them.
So why not just have them kind of like already exist and cast them well and have them like show up in the middle of the movie and help save the day, and just establish them like, oh yeah, they've always been here, they've just been busy or whatever.
Yeah, Hank Pym comes in and says, "I know a guy."
Yeah, like you could
Yeah.
do something at that point so easy, and I think the fans would have a better reaction to a surprise like that than the anticipation of another flop.
Probably. I agree
My
with that.
my biggest anticipation for this new stage is the Celestials and how they plan on introducing them, because I'm pretty sure they plan on introducing them through this
I-
stage.
Who the
Yeah,
fuck are the
I feel like
Celestials?
I've read something about that
You're
as well.
fucking kidding, Steve, right? I'm
Hold on.
sorry, but you're kidding, right?
Oh god, it looks like it's fucking robots.
Um,
I don't know what the Celestials are either.
they are the I'm pretty sure, if memory serves correct, the first beings able to wield the Infinity Stones using weapons, and were pretty much the quote unquote rulers of the universe
Well,
and kept the
wasn't
peace. Some of them did. Like, for example, in Thor, when they go to nowhere, that place where they go, that's a giant skull of a celestial.
yes. Yep.
And there's another one where they've very clearly said that it's dead. I don't remember which one it is because I cannot pronounce half of their names worth a dang.
Now,
But
Gordon, can I interrupt you for 1 second and you just correct
yes,
me if I'm wrong on this? Wasn't Ego a celestial as well?
yes, that's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there was some original seven. I'm not even going to look up their names, pretend to know everything about them. But there's a original seven, and six of them, I believe, wielded Infinity Stones, and kind of were like playing the judge, jury, and executioner kind of roles, and going through and destroying life if they thought it was necessary and stuff like that. Because we kind of got that vibe when we were in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, and what's his name with that hammer kind of had delusions of grandeur to be one of them.
Oh, Ronan.
Ronan, yeah. And I'm pretty sure we had a flash to one of the Celestials using I think it's the Power Stone to ultimately completely destroy a planet in a single blow.
Oh god.
And I'm really excited for how they're going to introduce these because there's a lot of them now in the comic um, verse, but I'm kind of excited to see if they're going to introduce one or two and have them as a villain for the entirety of the stage four and kind of have that be the, in lack of a better term, BBEG at the end of the.
Well, okay, so I have a question for you with that then, because I thought, Drew, cover your ears. This is a spoiler. I thought we already had our big bad guy introduced for Phase 4.
Well, we maybe.
Okay.
We all know Marvel, kind of. We really don't. Their thinking is a lot. They think things better than we do. They could very easily be leaking information to be false to build up better suspense when it's not actually that person.
Okay. Okay.
But
Fair enough.
I could see them doing something along the lines of, this shit's gonna get leaked. Let's leak it to begin with, and then make it even better story in the long run. That's gonna trick all the viewers that think it's gonna turn out this way, but it's really gonna go down this way.
I gotcha. Because, I mean, they did kind of sort of do that. Like in the first Avengers movie, your main villain was Loki, but at the same time, you at the end of the movie, you found out there was somebody behind him pulling his strings. And I believe that was our first end credits introduction to Thanos. And
Yeah.
it took us how many more years to actually see him show up in the main section of the movie? Because Avengers came out in 2012.
Yeah, and I'm expecting something similar along the lines of there's going to be a puppet that somehow that's not going to make any sense because there's no, I should say, in the eyes of Celestials, mere mortal should be able to talk to them or even have any like say or do anything for them. But they're going to make up some BS where there's going to be some overpowered character that works for them with them in the background pulling this person's strings, and then we're going to get to the end of stage 4. They're probably going to show like a group scene of all the Celestials sitting down somewhere talking, which would not make sense in anything because I'm pretty sure they all hate each other and want to kill each other, and then make that stage 5.
Gotcha.
Because there's no way that they don't already have everything planned out for a few stages.
Yeah, because I mean, leading up to Thanos, that took them 3 phases to actually get to the finale of that. So I can see that. Okay.
I think they're trying to play the long con, but they
Yeah.
can only do so much with movies, and I think that's why they're trying to introduce so many TV shows, is to be able to introduce more canon into the MCU in order to be able to put out better movies and still be able to have all the all the knowledge that you'd get from reading a comic book in the movie, but instead of reading multi comics, you're watching a bunch of TV shows first, and then there's a big movie that kind of like condenses it all and gets to the point a lot quicker without having to do a lot of filler.
Yeah.
And all of this leads to the bigger question: is it just getting too large? Because
Yes.
it's overwhelming a little bit.
I'm getting
Like,
tired of superhero movies. They're
I
just
just-
all very similar. They all have the same, like, it's so easy to guess, like, what, like, when you're watching a movie, it's really easy to guess where that movie you're watching is going. I mean, it's very hard to guess where the entire story is going based off of one movie, but you can always kind of guess what's going to happen in the movie you're watching. And I feel like it's just kind of the same thing, rinse and repeat through every movie with different characters and different villains and slightly different interactions. But I feel like the core of every single superhero movie is basically the same thing.
Like every single DC movie where it's all
Yeah.
the same. It's the same exact thing, just they copy and paste different villains or heroes over top of the storyboard.
And like, we're not getting really any other movies of that quality. Like, superhero movies have taken over the cinema completely. Like, there's really nothing else to really watch. Anything else
Yeah.
that comes out, it's like, oh, people say that's like a 2 out of 10. Wow, okay, I guess I'll just go back to watching superheroes.
Look
That's
at
true.
Free Guy, for example. Free Guy just came out, and what is that if not a superhero movie?
Yeah.
For whoever hasn't seen it, it's a great movie, and I highly recommend it.
It's on my list. I've been wanting to watch it since I saw the first teaser for it.
I just
want to
watch it because Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Wait,
The
what's
best
it called?
scene that Free Guy, it's featuring Ryan Reynolds. The best scene that doesn't give any spoilers away is he uses Captain America's shield, and it cuts to Chris Evans spitting out his coffee and going, "What the?" And I'm pretty sure it cuts before he can say it, but it might not because I think it does have a PG-13 or R rate or a higher rating to get away with swears.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds.
That might have to be our weekend movie.
Yeah,
You guys
I've been wanting to
have
watch
to.
that.
You have to go see it. You're gonna love it. It gets a little slow towards the end, like the very end, but it stays pretty high octane in my opinion through most of the movie.
Okay.
This is why John Wick is probably my favorite movie series right now, and I can't wait for the next one to come out. Just because I'm tired of superheroes.
And the best part is, Keanu Reeves said he'll make as many as fans want.
I know, and I'm ready. I'm prepared to go up to like 25 if they are the same quality.
Gosh, yes.
Like you can make an infinite number of these. I don't care how many you make, as long as they're all of equal quality.
Especially when you find out that everything he's doing himself without a stunt double, and he's
I know.
with real live fire guns.
Yeah,
to
he's
be as
actually
accurate as
like
possible.
he's going through like military training and Navy SEALs. Like he's actually getting specific combat training for these movies. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Like if you met him in public and you did something to piss him off, he would mess you up.
He actually knows how to do the things he does in the movie.
Yeah.
That is kind
And
of badass.
the movie kind of banks on realistic combat and action.
And it's probably the only movie I've ever watched where they reload the gun after the clip is empty, and you can count the bullets.
Yeah.
And there's the amount of bullets in the clip. As
My
there
favorite thing is when there's one scene where he takes a 1911 clip from a guy he just killed, and he puts the clip into the gun, and then before he pulls the rack back, I forget exactly what it's called, but then he pulls it back halfway to see if the bullet is actually chambered or not before he fires it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is just such attention to detail.
If every movie could do the amount of detail that John Wick did,
Oh, it's
even
so good.
superhero or not, it would bring every movie to a higher level.
It's like they think of everything, and and he gets shot up. Like they don't miss all the time. Like he gets shot, he gets hurt, he almost dies a few times. Like he goes through hell, man. I love it. So good.
He never misses, but you can't make the good guy miss. But the bad guys aren't stormtrooper aim, which is very new in those kind of movies.
And even when he gets into close quarters combat, every once in a while, it'll just be a random guy who's like on his skill level. You're like, whoa, this isn't even like the main villain, and like this guy's giving him trouble.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure he does those scenes himself too, because I'm pretty sure he's getting trained in that stuff as well.
He accidentally kicked a guy in the nuts really, really hard, and he felt really bad about it. I was watching an interview with him.
Oh, I could feel that.
He said he felt terrible.
I got him a new car immediately.
Oh my
But
gosh.
John Wick, best movies out there right now, in my opinion.
Better than the MCU. You heard it here first, folks.
That's my hot take of the day.
Thanos snaps his fingers. John Wick's dog disappears. Cold sweats run down Thanos' face as a pencil flies through the air.
With a pencil. If you guys haven't seen those movies, I highly recommend watching John Wick. They're the best action movies ever made.
Yeah, they're definitely way up there.
Because it's like it has an equally, in my opinion, has an equally good story as it does action, and most action movies don't have that. It's got everything going for it.
Yeah, and they always keep your attention. Like there's very little filler in these movies. It's almost all.
Yeah, that's what I watched when I got tattooed. I watched John Wick.
All right, well, with that being said, I think that it's time to take a quick ad break, and we will be right back after this word from our sponsor. Hey there, guys and gals. I hope you are enjoying this episode of the Speak Easily podcast. I know I had a lot of fun recording it. Speaking of, have you ever thought about making your own podcast? It's always been something I wanted to do, but I kept putting it off because I could never find the right platform to host it. That is, until I discovered Anchor. Anchor is an all-in-one recording, editing, and hosting app that makes the process simple. And the best part is it's totally free. And I mean genuinely free. And if you're someone like me who has a love-hate relationship with editing audio, let me tell you this. I was blown away by how user-friendly the in-app editing tool actually is. My favorite part, I must admit, is the distribution. Normally with new podcasts, you have to submit your show to various platforms individually, which can be time-consuming and very frustrating. But with Anchor, they do the legwork for you. They'll submit it to Spotify, Apple, Castbox, Google, and several others with just the click of a button. Plus, unlike other platforms, there is no minimum requirement for listeners, so you can monetize your podcast and start earning right away. So, download the free Anchor app available in the App Store or on the Google Play Store, or do what I did and head over to anchor.fm to get started today. Thank you, Anchor, for sponsoring this podcast. I guess this means the next round's on you. I'll drink to that. Okay, so Lizett, you need to tell me what's going on with that TV show, What If? I remember the concept from the comic books. They were some of my favorites in print, but how's it doing on the screen?
So I have mixed feelings about this one, and it makes me kind of upset because up until now, the 3 prior TV shows that were out on Disney Plus, I have loved every single one of them. So we are, I believe it's 4 episodes into What If now. The one that dropped yesterday was the one about Doctor Strange. So do you guys care if I spoil these for you, or?
No, go right ahead.
Okay, feel free.
Okay. So episode 1 was, I don't remember the exact title, so if I get these wrong, I apologize. But it's basically what if Peggy Carter became Captain Carter and we didn't have a Captain America. So that one, I was just kind of like, meh. I kind of watched it. I think I was playing on my phone through most of it because the story just followed the Captain America storyline so closely that I'm like, well, you haven't made enough changes. I already know the story. So that one I was just kind of like, blah, whatever. It's okay, but not what I was expecting. Episode 2 caught my attention much, much more. I believe I mentioned this to you guys a couple weeks ago. Episode 2 was what if T'Challa became Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And if I'm remembering correctly, and if my source was right, this was Chadwick Boseman's last outing as T'Challa. So it is actually him voicing the character.
Oh, wow.
I really, really enjoyed that episode. So the Ravagers show up to Earth. Instead of picking up Peter Quill, they pick up T'Challa. He's out like wandering the fields one night because he was frustrated about something. He had an argument with his dad. They pick him up and take him to Yondu, and Yondu's like, what the heck is wrong with you guys? And they're like, one human kid looks like another. So we got you a human kid, and Yondu's just like, oh my God, okay, fine. He can stay. So when they jump into T'Challa being older, he has solved a lot of the problems that we saw characters in the MCU dealing with over movies. He solved them with using diplomacy or using solutions that our other heroes would not have come up with. So one of the problems that he solved in that particular universe, Thanos never collected the Infinity Stones. Thanos never did the snap because he talked to him and said, hey, there are other ways to allot the universe's resources. You don't have to kill half the population to make this work. And Thanos agreed with him. So it actually made Thanos into a good guy. He was part of the Ravagers crew and he was helping them out in this episode. Wow. It was a really cool take. Now, episode 3 was going over the events of when they were building the original Avengers team, so phase 1, and it was basically what if someone killed them all before they could make the team.
Ooh.
That was an interesting one. It wasn't my favorite, but I was like, I'm curious to see where this is going. And then yesterday's episode was what if Doctor Strange lost his heart.
When you're done, I do have something to say about the Doctor Strange one because I kind of
Oh yeah, you were kind of watching it from over here. Okay. So Doctor Strange was what if he lost his heart instead of his hands. So in that one, he was not in the car accident where his hands were ruined. He was not driving by himself. He had Christine with him. Do you want to just go get the cat since he's being bad?
No, as soon as I get up, he's going to stop.
Okay. Sorry, guys. If you hear us snapping and making noise, it's because the cat is challenging us from across the room. Anyway, so that one was another interesting take because it was so much different from the original storyline. So part of what I'm iffy on with this show, the animation style is not my favorite. I think I understand why they chose this particular style. It kind of is reminiscent of the comic book artwork.
It's almost cartoony.
Yeah,
It's like a realistic cartoony.
And that I think is part of my problem with it because it does look really realistic at some points, but then the characters will pull a really exaggerated, really cartoony expression, and it's just jarring to me.
I have a bigger problem with this.
Okay, go on.
I overheard the voice acting in this, and oh my god, if that's not some of the worst voice acting I've ever heard over animation,
okay.
that was, oh my god, there was no emotion.
I
it
was
was
trying
just like,
to ignore it, but
what?
okay, let's talk about that.
No, we're talking about it because I've been bashing the MCU and I ain't stopping yet.
So a lot of the actors in the show are the actors who are portraying, like they are the actors who portrayed their characters. So we had Benedict Cumberbatch. We had
It didn't even sound like him.
No, it didn't.
It was no emotion at all.
We had Benedict Cumberbatch. We had Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. We had, I'm blanking on her name, who plays Christine. It's an actress that I really like too.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, yes. It was her as well. Now, she was the one that I could not recognize. So Benedict Cumberbatch, it sounded enough that like him that I'm like, okay, that is definitely him. But Rachel McAdams, I'm like, this does not sound like her. Her voice was so flat.
It sounded like they were just reading the script. That's it.
Now, I will say that episode.
Sorry, I just hit my mic.
Go get the cat.
I thought you hit the guitar.
Just go get the cat. So yeah, their voices were very flat. Now you will get every now and then you'll get one who put more effort into their lines, and Chadwick Boseman was one who was not flat in his delivery of his lines, at least to me. And that I think might be part of why I liked his episode more. I'll get him next time since he escaped from you. My cat, in case anybody is wondering, I have a 2-year-old who's basically like a toddler, and he's being a brat today. I apologize.
He wants to get on everything.
I will send you pictures. You can put them wherever so that people can see them.
I will put them in the YouTube video.
Yes. But anyway. So, yeah, some of the other actors who were playing in the T'Challa episode, who in Guardians of the Galaxy, in the first one, when Star-Lord is going to get that first Infinity Stone, and the other character shows up and is trying to stop him. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. That actor was also brought back for his part in the T'Challa episode, and he was another one who had a lot of life in his lines. Now, his character became really goofy because he was a big fan of T'Challa, so he was like, oh my god, it's Star-Lord, da-da-da-da-da. But, like, you could hear the excitement. It was like a kid getting to meet their idol. And now, to be fair to Drew's argument, because he is correct, in the Doctor Strange episode yesterday, there was no emotion in anybody's
It was
lines.
actually horrible. Like, it was hard to listen to.
What can you expect? They probably got these scripts sent in an email, told to record their lines, and they are going to get paid this sum of money. And that was that.
I mean, I'm not mad about it, but I'm not letting it slide. I'll call it out.
They used Anchor to record their lines.
I hope you didn't just shit on our sponsor, dude.
I did not.
Anchor's a wonderful platform, and the shows would have been much better had they used Anchor.
Exactly.
But I imagine that was probably something that was in their contract that they didn't weren't expecting to have to actually do. And so I
Yeah,
can.
The episode definitely felt rushed from what little bit I saw.
yeah,
They're
and
just
that's
trying to
what.
force content now.
Yeah, a lot
Yep.
of it feels, and that might be also part of it. Like your animation style, like I said, it's realistic, but it's very cartoony. You get a lot of really over exaggerated facial expressions, but the audio doesn't match. Like that might be part of something that might fix it.
I kind of
Oh.
actually I kind of liked the animation. I don't know what it was, but it
It's
gave
not
me
like-
Batman Beyond vibes kinda, but like more
Okay.
up to date, and it gave me that old like early 2000 cartoon vibes, but just slightly more realistic,
That's
and I
what
was
I was
like, I'm
gonna
kind of here
ask.
for it.
Is it like Disney's movies in animated movies in like the 2004 time, where
No,
their
Uh,
movies were really like
no,
good animated stuff, or is it like
I
no.
wouldn't say this is very, very good. It just kind of reminded me of
Would you?
past good things, and I think if they put a little bit more time into it, I think it could have been like one of the best I've ever seen.
I got a question for you since you were watching that over my shoulder. Would you compare it? Like, obviously, Into the Spider-Verse was done with a lot more care,
Oh yeah,
but
it's definitely similar to
that
that.
style,
Yeah,
okay?
it's definitely similar to that.
I
that's
have
the
the image in my head now.
yeah, that's the closest thing I can think of to compare
Imagine
it to.
a slightly worse.
Yeah, like that animation style. Like I said, it's meant to evoke the comic book illustrations.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
hold on one
just
second, guys. I'll be right back.
oh, okay.
$12.30.
But yes, Gordon, I will drop pictures of my demon child in chat for you.
You better, because I will make sure that they end up in the YouTube video.
Okay.
Now he's chilling on top of the cat tree.
Which one? Oh, that one.
Now
I
he's
love
upset that he got
cats.
in trouble.
Yeah. His name is Mr. Darcy.
Oh, that sounds adorable.
Yeah,
He is a cute cat, I have to admit.
He sounds like he causes trouble on a daily
Yes.
basis.
The cuteness is the only thing he has going for him.
all right.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Mom
Do you
says
wanna-
hi, by the way.
When you get off, tell her I say hi back.
Absolutely.
Do you want to count us back in, or do you want us to just jump back in?
I will do a quick count in if that's cool with you guys for editing. Okay.
That's fine.
Who needs to edit?
Not your ass, because you never do it. 5, 4,
your
3,
job.
2, 1.
All right, but yeah, so that's kind of what's going on over at What If. It's not bad. It just I think it needs a little bit more work. I think it needed a little bit more time put into it. But okay, you look like you have something you want to say. Go
I
on.
do have something I want to say. Because we're talking about Into the Spider-Verse, and I just have to throw this out there real fast. Into the Spider-Verse is the best animated movie ever made. I've spoke my piece.
Oh, wow. You're
That
leveraging
I-
a very heavy claim there, my friend.
Maybe best animated superhero movie.
I don't really.
I can't agree with you for best animated movie.
Okay, so before we get into that debate, we're going to make a note of that discussion, and we're going to save that for a further episode because I know that we could all go into that for a full hour by itself. So,
Oh.
Steven, are we going to make a note of that and add that to the
I'm
list?
gonna just drop it in the admin chat so we don't forget.
All right, cool.
I spoke my piece.
Yes. All right, Pharaoh, I have spoken. Stay over there. Anyway, now I want to watch 10 Commandments. That's a side note. So what else is going on in Marvel that you guys want to talk about?
Um,
Do we want to talk about the video games? Or
I
video
don't
game, I should say.
They it's not worth it. That's just a waste of time to talk about something that's that bad.
Well, can we talk about the Spider-Man game?
which
The
the-
Miles Morales one?
No, not the Miles Morales one because I
Oh.
haven't played that one yet. I'm talking about the PS4 one.
That's very old.
It's not that old.
I was hoping you were going to bring up Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 2 because that's still to this
Well,
day.
you know what, Steven? Let's talk about that one because you and I played that one.
And
Yeah,
it's
I've
still
played all the Spider-Man games except for Miles Morales. I'm just putting that out there.
that still is like ranked one of like the best open world games of its time, and it was like very rare for like a movie that was licensed for a film to have that level of quality.
I have
Yeah.
another hot take.
Oh my god.
Oh, what are you gonna try to ruin now?
No, that's it. I actually love that game, but I think one of the best Spider-Man games is The Amazing Spider-Man for PlayStation 2. It was
Isn't that
just called The Amazing Spider-Man. It was very like comic book style. It's one of my
Yes.
favorites.
I do remember that one. That was solid as well.
That one and the Spider-Man 2 game are tied, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Lizett, what was the one you were saying? There's one for the PS4.
So it was. You keep hitting that
It's
microphone.
an accident. I'm sorry.
It came out for PS4. I don't remember how long ago. It wasn't super long. Can you look that up for me, please, my love? They came out with it. It's like it's a sequel for the PS5. That's Miles Morales. That I have sitting over on my shelf. It's 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
It's not that old. Yeah, so it came out for PS4. It is not based around any particular movie. It's just kind of like a standalone game. I enjoyed it a lot. It's open world. It shows Peter, he's out of high school. He's working for Dr. Octavius. This is before Otto becomes Doc Ock. Over the course of the game, you actually see him start to kind of descend. His mental state devolves, and he becomes Doc Ock by the end of the game.
Mm.
The story is really good. Steven, I would recommend checking out which YouTuber had a good video for it. I'll look up some and I'll send you links of some who played it. But it was good. It was the only Spider-Man game that I have finished, and
It is very good.
I was planning on 100%ing it, but I think I got distracted and I did something else instead.
Probably another game.
Maybe, I don't know.
Isn't that around the time Horizon Zero Dawn came out?
No, Horizon came out before that.
I feel I have to interject here because I couldn't let the comment earlier stand of best animated movie. Have you ever seen Treasure Planet?
I have.
And
I
the
have.
brilliant animation that could have
I
been the
have.
best animation style for the Western world, but they ruined it with all this cartoonish shit that's been coming out.
I have seen that. I have.
Sorry.
There's
Movies
another
in
one that
that-
has really good animation. Another movie
Movies
that's
in that style are top tier.
Road
animated
to
movies.
The Road to
Sure.
El Dorado.
yeah, Road to El
Eldorado.
Dorado is
Okay,
probably like
yeah.
my second favorite animation
Edward
because of the water physics they have in there. I don't know if you guys know this, but the animated water that they have in that movie is actually like it shouldn't have been possible for the time the movie was created.
Really?
Yeah, and it was that kind of the way they did the water was used in other kinds of movies as well.
They kind of pioneered the technology.
Yeah, it's insane.
Hmm.
Sorry, I just couldn't let that comment stand.
I
earlier.
tried to
There's
keep
so
us on
many-
topic, Steven.
there's
It didn't work.
So many
Yeah.
better animated. I shouldn't say better, but better.
There are a lot of
animated.
other good ones. In my opinion, those two are the only ones that really kind of hold a candle to it. But I'm also like I'm a huge fan of that comic book style animation.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It was a really good movie.
And that's kind of like one of the only animated movies that actually does that comic book style very well.
So Lizett, will Howard the Duck be making his ultimate comeback in the Marvel Universe?
I mean, he was in the second episode of What If, so maybe they're setting that up, Steven. I'm not sure. We need to look into that more.
And he was played by the voice actor Seth Green from Family Guy and Robot Chicken, which was pretty cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You never watched Family Guy, did you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't watch Robot Chicken either,
Oh.
did you?
No.
Robot Chicken's amazing.
Would you stop outing me?
All right,
Hey,
folks,
you know
that's
what-
the
I know
podcast.
we're watching on when you guys come to visit.
Yes.
We're gonna rent out a movie theater and just binge watch Robot Chicken and Family Guy.
she was like, like I know what that is. And I was like, wait, no, you don't.
I'm gonna call you on this BS
Steven,
right
I don't want
now.
my husband on the
I
podcast
don't-
anymore.
Well, you fire him, I'll fire Gordon.
Okay.
Make your own thumbnails from now on, Steve.
He does one thing to contribute, and he reminds me about it every day.
Yes, I
Um,
do.
Sorry, I was like, wait a second.
Our luck here, Lizett, is they'd go off, start their own podcast to do better than us.
Yeah, they'd
So
be
we-
much more successful by
Yeah.
themselves, so let's not let them
let's not do
go.
that. No, let's get a. I'm trying to
Okay.
think of how to even get this back on track, and I don't.
It would
remember.
never work out because we jump from one topic to the other, so it'd be
So
so,
frequently.
abstract.
All right, episode 1, 30 topics,
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Every 5 seconds, it's just you announcing another hot take and being like, "We're a drama podcast now." I'm calling it Marvel.
Oh my god. Well, let me see. We've talked about the games, we talked about the movies, the shows, we touched on comics.
Oh, Can we talk about one of Marvel's biggest blunders as far as comic books to date? Like
what
this.
is that?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. I gotta just. Let me just. I should have had this prepared, but it just popped in my head. Don't want to talk about it. Let me just
Look at
fact check
Steve,
myself.
so I'm prepared for our episode.
Okay. You know what, Gordon? Don't speak to me. In the 90s, there was a comic book series called The New Warriors, and it was, I believe it featured Excalibur and a few, like, I'll say B-list. They're not like XMen or Avengers or what have you, but they're still pretty popular. Well, in 2020, they tried to revamp this, right?
Mhm.
Because because of the movies and TV shows, comic books are doing well and they're all virtual now and what have you. Well, they tried to make the New Warriors. So the concept is whatever the generation of the New Warriors that were prior to you or your mentors. And so each time the series relaunches, it introduces like 5 or 6 new characters, and they're mentored by their proteges. Predecessor, thank you.
Yep.
You have to look this up. I recommend a YouTuber by the name of Diesel Patches. He's a little bit raunchy, but he covers this. It's the most cringeworthy cast of comic book characters I've ever seen. I'm just going to read you the names of the characters, and you can tell me what you think.
Okay.
Screen Time, who's forever connected to the internet.
Like every other person
No.
in 2021.
Snowflake.
Wait, you're
Safe.
saying these are the
What,
worst?
do they get offended
These-
by everything?
This is as of April 15th, 2020. I think the run got shortened and canceled, but this literally happened in Canada.
Steven, please tell me that the next one's name is Karen.
Oh god, that would be amazing. No, that's just probably the next generation. No, you're gonna get this next one. Safe Space. And then there's the only character that's maybe redeemable is this kid B negative, and he looks like a vampire goth kid. And the thing is he got a blood transfusion from that Michael Morbius character. And
Oh my god.
so that one kind of is the only one that ties back into
You could do something with that,
Yeah.
possibly. Okay.
the last
I'm
character.
so interested.
Wait.
in this now.
Okay,
last
last
I want to
character.
see this just for how bad it would be.
And I
You're
don't
saying
mean
something offensive. Safe space activated.
yeah, his thing is force fields. Like he literally create a bubble around himself.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
What's the last one, Steven?
The last one, and I know it's 2021 and it's rude to say anything about anybody because somebody's going to get offended, and this is going to be called body shaming.
Oh no.
This character's name is
Offend them all.
Trailblazer. This person is kind of the leader of the team. They're named Trailblazer because their personality type is that they are the first to run into battle and defend the people and defend their teammates.
Are they
Okay.
She's an obese Dora the Explorer. I promise you now, Google it. They did not do any creativity. It looks like Dora developed an eating disorder and then became super powerful.
This sounds like
no.
the best comic book series.
I'm telling you guys, you have to look it up.
Oh
I
my
recommend-
I would watch
God.
or read that comic book just to be able to laugh at it.
Hold on,
I want movies on this. I want animated movies in the style of Rick and Morty on this.
hold on.
No, in the style of What If.
Oh my God.
I'm dropping the Diesel Patches video on it because he's so like not politically
Yes.
correct.
Please.
It's amazing. Copy link. Okay.
I cannot wait to listen to this.
So I swear to God, we talked about Marvel's ups and downs, but if Fat Dora and Safe Space get a movie, I'm quitting. I'm just quitting. It's over.
I will pre-order tickets to see that. I'll be the only one in the theater. I would be all over
Okay,
that.
so look, when we talked about the DC episode, I told you guys about how I bought tickets to Justice League and I made my cousins sit in the theater through the whole entire movie, even though they were begging me to let them leave because I paid for those damn tickets and they were going to sit there and suffer. And if this gets a movie, I'm going to do the same thing to all of you.
No.
You won't have to drag me. I'll go willingly.
No, you're going to help me get the other two.
Oh no, I'm going willingly as well. We're gonna.
Okay, so we've got it's 3 against 1, Steven. You're gonna have to get you and I can sit in the back of the theater like these two are excited for it. They can sit up front and they can be all excited and laugh.
Who sits in the front?
What is wrong with you? You sit in the back because
The very
then
back
you don't
is the
have
best.
to move. Then you don't have to move your head.
Well, no, I'm putting you guys away from us so that Steven and I can talk through the whole thing. So
You guys can sit in the
up
middle.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she
you-
can talk me down from unaliving myself in the movie theater.
I'm pulling
Please-
out a
please
piece
look
of
at-
metal.
Please look at the Discord chat. Tell me I'm
making it
not wrong.
past 10.
hold on. Wait.
No,
They just aged her up and weighed her up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
they went on Twitter, found the first person that was pro whatever you'd like to call it, and just said, you know what, comic book character, hell yeah.
It's terrible. And then
Oh
like
boy.
and
Oh
yeah,
my
anyway.
God.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay.
that is Marvel's. That I'll never forgive them for that. And no, you cannot drag me to a movie. If they get a movie, it's over. It's done. I probably would go to make fun of it. I will admit.
I know that's what I'm saying. You and I can
Yeah.
sit off to these two, like you and I can sit off in the corner. We'll make fun of it the whole time, and these two can laugh at it.
But what if it was good, right? What if the
I-
characters were bad, but the movie was great?
I
I'd
don't
go
think I
just
can
get
s-
the commemorative popcorn tin.
You know it's a jumbo.
You could get, like, I
I
think they
just
just
don't
give you the
see it.
entire glass container the popcorn fits in.
And
3 refills.
in one of the
Do you consent to butter on your popcorn?
do you consent?
You don't have a choice.
Oh my god.
Oh.
In that video, he says at one point, he goes, "Yeah, they're all great until one of the villains approaches them and tells them there isn't more than 2 genders, and they quit or something." And it's funny. And he's like, "Let me guess who their main villain is, Orange Man." And I was like, "Now that's funny."
Oh my gosh.
Orange Man.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't understand it. I'm sorry.
It's
I just heard like silence. Wait.
Think about it. Orange Man.
who
You're gonna have to explain it to me
The
afterwards.
last president of the United States.
Old
Oh
Trump.
fuck!
He's like the villain. Like that's the
Yeah,
joke.
I got it.
I'll be blunt about it while they try to beat around the bush.
I wanted
Yes.
her to. I wanted to see the click.
Yeah, he literally looked over at me, saw me kind of chuckling, and I could see he was like, "Oh fuck, you don't get it. Hold on."
I wanted to see the connection. I wanted to see your light bulb. Oh my god, that would be. I want this so bad. I want to.
So, what are we going
Or a
to start
TV
pulling our money
series.
together to get
Kickstarter.
this up? Yeah, get a Kickstarter going to make
Oh
this
my
happen.
god, this needs to be a thing that just makes fun of all of the stuff. Oh my god, it'd be so great.
All we'd really have to do is like start a Twitter thread and talk about how great and progressive it is, and we would get funded for this in no time.
But we would have to
Oh.
make it not. It has to make fun of everything.
No, but
Yes.
you gotta. There's a fine line you can walk
Where it is still making
It's
fun
still
of
making
stuff,
fun of
but
it, but they don't realize it, so they'll fund it.
Yeah,
not
because
an
everyone on
offensive
that side of the
funny.
spectrum's too dense. And they're not
Orange
smart
man.
either.
I'm telling you, that's the future of Marvel, man.
Oh boy.
There's so many like not safe podcast
gonna-
jokes I want to say about this.
We're
Save
going
it
to,
for the Discord conversation afterwards.
Honestly,
we're gonna watch Spider-Man in theaters, and Spider-Man's just gonna look like Ned. Everyone's gonna be complaining. He's gonna be like, "But that's fat shaming."
Oh my god, it's disgusting. We should honestly, we should figure out a way that on Patreon we can watch, because when Marvel announced it, they announced it through a YouTube video, and like, I don't think the term beta male is overused, but like the guy who's explaining it is such a beta male. It's like, it's so funny. It's like one of the most disliked videos on YouTube. So we should do a Patreon episode where we all watch it together and roast it.
Yes, please.
Sounds like we have a plan for whenever they come and visit.
Yeah,
That sounds
We have
fun.
so much stuff we want to do.
right.
We're gonna have to come up like several weekends in a row just to get all this stuff done.
I don't
Right.
see this as
D&D
a problem.
sessions.
Oh, my.
Oh, I'm so excited to meet you guys in person.
Yes.
That's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so chaotic. Luckily, I'm probably the only one out of us that can't drink, so one of us can be sane during all of this and be the designated driver, because
This
something's
is-
gonna go wrong.
Awesome, because Delaney was supposed to Delaney wants to come up and be our designated driver, but she is busy that weekend, so this is
See,
perfect.
Yeah, we got a plan. Well, anyway, with all of this being said, is there anything else that anyone wants to touch on regarding Marvel and their wonderful machine that they've built?
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I spoke my piece. I stated my hot takes.
Hey,
I'm sure I'll get hate.
No, I mean, we need the controversial opinion. You know, we need that. What were you gonna say, Gordon?
I was gonna be mean and say the first person that's gonna see this is Steve's mom, so there's not gonna be any hate.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, he's such a good person. She like doesn't know anything about Marvel, but we'll agree with you. That's not true. She was actually a pretty big X-Men fan.
I'm not surprised from her. I could see that.
Yeah, I miss X-Men. I want more good X-Men stuff.
Yeah,
It was
But-
just getting good too. Then Disney had to buy it. Now it's gonna get ruined.
I know.
Just-
Logan was so good.
just getting good. I mean, did you see Dark Phoenix? That was horrible. It was like they ruined the best X-Men storyline twice in film. Like,
I actually didn't even watch that
Yeah,
one.
because they got bought out like right before the movie got released, and it's like, well, what's the point of watching this now?
yeah, it was a nightmare.
That's the only reason why I hate when companies get bought out, because it pretty much makes everything in the past null and void,
Mhm.
Yeah,
which is horrible.
but we do have
Because-
the best X-Men movie ever, which is Logan.
Yeah.
Logan was pretty good. I'm pretty partial to X2 personally, but Logan was very good.
I have plenty of takes on how that will turn out, but we don't have enough time for that.
Maybe
today.
the X-Men will get a whole episode. Who knows?
Most definitely.
Get
Alright.
my dad on that
Oh
one.
my god, no, you don't have enough time for Dale to talk about that.
My dad loves X-Men. Loves X-Men.
Oh yeah, I'd be interested to hear, like, because I mean, he's obviously liked them for a long time. I wonder what his
Oh, yeah.
impressions are.
He knows a lot about.
Steven, when you come down to visit,
Uh-huh.
I will set aside a whole day for you to talk to Dale.
I would appreciate that. I
And
I need
I'm
an
just going to be
X-Men
in a
nerd.
Discord call to listen.
Oh my. All right, guys. Well, if nothing else, I think we can probably wrap it up for today. I think we hit our mark, and I think we covered a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great podcast.
Excellent. Well, we will be recording more episodes soon. Drew, we're glad to have you with us. And
Yeah, this is awesome.
Are we still planning for, was it Sunday that we said we'd be able to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunday in the early afternoon, right? Around 1
Yep.
o'clock.
Okay,
Yep.
because that's still good for me if it's still good for you guys.
That's still great for me. I got my.
Should be good.
I think
for
I
me.
got my topic all picked out and whatnot.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm all set. I got a lot of things to say.
I still
All right,
have to
well-
figure out a topic.
Our social media and Discord link will be in the description box below. Once again, we want to thank Anchor for sponsoring this podcast. Without them, it would not be possible. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's Be Nerds is hosted and executive produced by Gordon Bryant and me, Stephen J. McLean. Today's co-host was Lizett Ayala. You can find her on Instagram at xshadowsongx. Let's Be Nerds is a production of Speak Easily Productions. Our social media manager is Kylie Gregg. Our theme song was composed by Robert Van Jacobs. You can follow him on Instagram at Bobby_Spector. To keep up with the latest about the show, follow us on Twitter at Let's the letter B Nerds, or join our Discord server, which will be linked in the description box below. Thank you to Anchor for sponsoring our show, and thank you for listening.